Have you ever had the feeling that you're being watched, or followed? Now imagine if the stakes were life or death. This is where the movie starts, with little Vasily in the cold mountains with his grandfather and a gun. The two are hunting a wolf and his grandfather calms him so that he can kill the wolf before it kills their bait horse. Vasily takes his time waiting for the right moment to strike. The wolf draws closer to their bait horse and Vasily fails to kill it on time. In the next scene, we see our young shooter, in his early 20s dressed in military uniform heading to war representing the Soviet Union. This is World War II at the height of Hitler's reign. A beautiful young lady on board catches his attention. Later they stop at a nearby town where she hops off with a few other soldiers. The Nazis have taken over all of Europe and their next target is Asia. One city stands in their way, and the fight for the city will determine the future of the world. All eyes are on Stalingrad. That is where Vasily and the other men are headed. In the next scene, they arrive and have to hop on small ships to get to the other side of the bank. They finally reach the other side and get their rifles and bullets, and head right into the eye of the storm. Vasily doesn't have a rifle and the fight is about to begin. He runs into battle weaponless hoping to get a rifle from a fallen soldier. Vasily and his fellow Russian soldiers seem to have lost the battle. Later a man arrives in a car, the car is flipped over, and he leaves the wreck on foot so that he isn't captured. This man is Commissar Danilov and his mission is to assassinate a Nazi general. He meets Vasily. Vasily helps him fix his gun, but now the general is heavily guarded. Vasily takes Danilov's gun and kills all of them from long range. Vasily successfully helped Danilov complete his mission, and he is grateful for his help. They are bonded by the experience. In the next scene, Danilov shows Vasily the newspaper that he is responsible for. Danilov has written a flattering story about Vasily, painting him as a hero for what he has done. Later we meet high-ranking Soviet military general Nikita Khrushchev. Khrushchev steps out to the surviving troops and introduces himself. He explains the significance of protecting the city from the Nazis. Khrushchev tells the men that all the troops fighting for Stalingrad represent something bigger. They have to also inspire the other men at war to keep fighting. Danilov gives Khrushchev a suggestion on how they could inspire courage without the use of bullets. He tells Khrushchev that they need to tell great stories of heroes defying the odds. Danilov suggests that they make Vasily the hero of all the men at war. Later Vasily arrives at the newspaper, where Danilov shows him. He is on the front page. Vasily's story will be told all over Europe and the Soviet Union. Vasily has also been appointed as the leader of the sniper division. Vasily's heroic win is told all over, inspiring people and soldiers. In the next scene, Vasily is hiding in the distance aiming at enemies with his sniper, prepared to shoot a soldier, when a kid pops by and is happy to see his hero Vasily. This little boy is Sasha and he invites him for dinner. That night Danilov and a few men arrive to work on a few letters from Vasily's fans and supporters. They are also joined by the family's neighbor, who happens to be the beautiful woman that he spotted on the train. Her name is Tanya and she recognizes him. Later we are at a train terminal and meet Erwin Koenig. He speaks to leadership at the German headquarters. He is concerned at the number of generals being assassinated by Vasilis. He feels it's time they put the hammer down and get rid of Vasilis for good. And Erwin Koenig is going to be the man to do it. In the next scene, Vasilis kills a sniper, so he thinks. Later Vasilis and the other soldiers go to try and see the dog tag of the person they just killed. Vasilis reaches the top of the building with his other men and is unaware that they are being watched by another sniper. The man they thought they killed was just bait. They're sitting ducks. The mysterious shooter scans the building, right before German forces drop bombs on all of them, destroying everything in sight. One of Vasilis's soldiers runs out and gets shot by the mysterious shooter. The shooter is Erwin Koenig. Later we see Koenig getting his shoes polished by Sasha, the little boy who brought Vasilis over for dinner. Koenig asks the kid to translate an article about Vasilis. The kid tells Koenig that he knows Vasilis, and this intrigues him. In the next scene, we see Vasilis on board a ship looking at the cigarette of the mysterious sniper, studying it for any clues. Later Vasilis arrives at his destination where he is welcomed by Danilov. Vasilis tells him about his experience with the sniper. Vasilis doesn't think the man moves like a normal sniper. Vasilis feels lucky to be alive. Danilov tells him that's because the sniper has studied him. Danilov tells Vasilis that the sniper is Koenig, a high-profile marksman for the Nazis. Later Vasilis is getting suited up for a meeting with the Soviet Union press. Vasilis goes into the press conference, where he is questioned about all of his heroic achievements. In the next scene, Vasilis is woken up and he and his fellow snipers get into position. Later they wait for a German repairman to appear, and he does. His fellow sniper Kulikov shoots and kills the repairman. They then move to the next location. Meanwhile, The news of Vasiliz's successful kills reaches Koenig. Koenig hears about the murder of the German repairman and they close in on the location. Koenig and his soldiers capture one of the two snipers who are with Vasiliz and ask for their location. He doesn't snitch on his fellow snipers, so the Germans dress him up in uniform and set him up to get shot, so that he can get Vasiliz's place. Koenig's plan works and the Germans have Vasiliz's location. A few moments later Kulikov is shot and killed by Koenig. Vasiliz quickly runs for cover. In the next scene, we see Danilov and a general talking about Vasiliz. The general is concerned at how long it's taking Vasiliz to kill Koenig. Danilov reassures the general that Vasiliz is meticulous. He knows what he is doing. The general continues to grow impatient. Later Danilov flirts with Tanya and offers her a gift. Tanya is grateful for the sweet gesture, but she wants to be reassigned. She wants to help on the front lines, because of how brutal her parents were murdered. In the next scene Vasiliz tells Danilov that he thinks that he can't do it, he feels outmatched. Danilov tells Vasiliz that he shouldn't worry, because he will figure out a way to get ahead of Koenig. In the next scene, Koenig is bribing Sasha, the boy who had dinner with Vasiliz, for more information. The kid can't refuse the treat of meat and chocolate, and he tells Koenig where Vasiliz might be. The German marksman is happy with the trade, he is one step ahead of Vasiliz. The next day Vasiliz wakes up and heads out to the location where he might find Koenig. Unaware that Koenig has been waiting there the whole time. Vasiliz loses his rifle while trying to avoid being killed, he has to retrieve it or he will be too late. In the next scene, Tanya rushes to Vasiliz's aid. Vasiliz asks her to use a piece of glass to blind Koenig so he can shoot at him. She does so and he gets an opportunity to retrieve his rifle and shoot the German in the hand. Later Koenig returns back to his quarters to speak to Sasha. Koenig admits to the kid that Vasiliz is smart and is a worthy opponent. That night Sasha reveals more information about Vasiliz and Tanya. Later Vasiliz, Tanya, and the other Soviets celebrate surviving the day. They talk about their plans if they make it through the war. In the next scene, we find out that Danilov has been sending Sasha to plant ideas in Koenig's head so that Vasiliz can get a one-up. Later Vasiliz approaches Danilov and asks him to stop writing about him. Vasiliz thinks Danilov has built him into a hero he doesn't think he is. Danilov believes in Vasiliz, he tells Vasiliz that they know how he can kill Koenig. Koenig's boots have left them a trail. After hearing this Vasiliz finds out that Danilov has been endangering Sasha for the sake of getting ahead of Koenig. Vasiliz is angry at his friend, rightfully so. Danilov has been changed by the evils of war. Afterwards, Vasiliz goes and finds his next position, thanks to Sasha's help. But Vasiliz, unfortunately, misses his opportunity to kill Koenig because he falls asleep. Koenig spots Vasiliz and is about to shoot. Thankfully he is saved by a man stealing from the dead bodies. The thief gets in Koenig's way and robs Vasiliz of his possessions. In the next scene, Koenig is told by the German general that they believe Vasiliz is dead because they found all of his possessions of a grave robber they captured. Koenig does not believe he is dead. The German general tells Koenig that he has to leave, they can't risk him dying. The Russians would use his death as propaganda against the Nazis. Koenig understands and agrees to leave. Later the Russian general hears the news that Vasiliz has been killed. He tells Danilov that the world will know about Russia's failure. But Danilov knows in his heart that Vasiliz is still alive. In the next scene, Danilov returns to the Russian hideout. He hopes to hear some news about Vasiliz. But there is no word. The Germans begin announcing that Vasiliz is dead. Tanya goes out to look for him. In the next scene Sasha is crying at Koenig's quarters. Koenig tells the boy that he shouldn't cry. Because he didn't kill Vasiliz. Koenig tells Sasha that he will see Vasiliz tomorrow morning and kill him then. He also makes Sasha promise that he will stay far away from the fight. Vasiliz returns to the hideout angry that he missed his chance to kill Koenig. Later Tanya is looking for Vasiliz. Unknown to her she is being followed by Koenig. Vasiliz stops her before she gets killed and they kiss. Danilov witnesses this and is angry. Danilov begins spreading lies about Vasiliz in his writings, calling him an anti-communist and a traitor. In the next scene, Koenig catches Sasha sneaking into the positions he thought Vasiliz would come from. He now knows that Sasha has been giving his location to Vasiliz, so he decides he will use Sasha as bait. Later Vasiliz and Tanya see that Koenig has caught and hung Sasha. They are both upset that it has happened, but have to leave Stalingrad before it's too late. German forces are drawing in. Later Danilov and Tanya tell Sasha's mother and all the other residents to leave on the boats. Tanya and Danilov lie to her and say that Sasha has joined the Germans so that she leaves with the other residents. At the dock, Tanya is shot and injured. Sasha's mother gets her on the boats and they leave for the other bank hoping to get medical help. In the next scene, Vasilis and Danilov wait for Koenig to reveal his location. Danilov tells Vasilis that Tanya is dead. Danilov tells Vasilis that he is a good man right before he sacrifices himself in hopes he will reveal Koenig's position. Koenig comes out thinking he has killed Vasilis, but Vasilis has him cornered and they meet eye to eye for the first time. Vasilis shoots and kills Koenig. In the next scene, we are at Stalingrad 2 months later. The Germans are captured as prisoners, and the Soviets have protected the city and won the battle. Tanya is alive in a hospital, and Vasilis finds her. They reunite happy to have survived the war, and Vasilis is awarded the rank of Hero of the Soviet Union for his victory over Nazi Germany. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe, and turn on the notifications to help the channel out. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.